News Conference sponsored by Georgia Power. We're going to be talking football. Head coach Jacobs and two players. Real quick, some love toward our basketball teams. Each one went unbeaten last week. The women defeated Florida A&M 75-59 and Charleston Southern 71-45. Men, a couple of come from behind wins over App State 75-67 and Saturday at Elon 91-84. Men will be at home tomorrow night, 7 o'clock against Georgia State. All right, let's talk some football. It's playoff time. As we know, the Bears had a bye this past week. They'll be playing against South Dakota on Saturday. There was some football news last week, real quick, before we bring Coach Jacobs up. At the conclusion of the regular season, the Bears had 17 players named either All-Conference or SoCon All-Freshman accolades. Andrew Zock was named the Southern Conference Defensive Player of the Year. Quarterback Braden Atkinson was named the Freshman of the Year. And Coach Jacobs was the SoCon Coach of the Year. Still at stake, national consideration. Coach Jacobs is one of the finalists, 15 finalists for the Eddie Robinson Award to the National Coach of the Year. Braden Atkinson is among 30 finalists for the Walter Payton Award, which goes to the Offensive Player of the Year. Braden's also in the running for the Jerry Rice Award, one of 25 finalists for the Freshman Player of the Year. And Andrew Zock is one of 30 finalists for the Buck Buchanan Award, which goes to the National Defensive Player of the Year. All right, 8 games were played on Saturday. Those winners advance. South Dakota defeated Drake 38-17. So the Bears will meet South Dakota 12 noon in the second round of the playoffs. With that, we'll bring up Coach Jacobs.
Good afternoon. Good to see everybody after a little bit of a holiday break. Hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. I know our staff and players certainly enjoyed a little bit of time off last week and got to watch some football as we roll into the playoffs. Won't spend a ton of time. Since last time we talked, obviously we had our game at Auburn. Won't spend a ton of time on that, just recapping. But I am proud of the way our kids competed. You know, the scores in those games aren't always indicative of how you play. I thought for 25 minutes of that game, we competed our butts off. You know, the problem is games are 60 minutes, and we did some of the things that you just can't do in that second half in terms of turn the ball over. We missed quite a few tackles in that game, and you know, towards the end you get worn down a little bit, and you see a little bit of the roster difference between you know, what they're paying players and just where we're at and in numbers as well. But we went there. We had a great game plan. Just didn't always execute as much as we needed to. You know, but we don't go there just to go there for the consolation. We went there to compete and play well, and so obviously disappointed in the outcome, but certainly looking forward to what's ahead of us this week. You know, we're excited to host a second round game for the second year in a row. We're blessed to have a bye this past week. Did a good job of getting, you know, a handful of practices in and getting ready and prepared. Really worked on us most of last week, and then, you know, now we'll start to lock in and really focus on what I think is a tremendous South Dakota team. You know, as far as South Dakota goes, you know, they're a team that's playing really good football here late in the season. They're a team that had high expectations. You know, they were a national semifinalist, so a Final Four team a year ago. Their quarterback, who's a tremendous player, is back. They do a great job running the football. I think they play in, you know, what many would argue is the toughest conference in FCS football, and they play good defense. And so, you know, we had a tremendous challenge this weekend. I'm looking forward. I encourage all of Middle Georgia to come out. We got a 12 o'clock game. Georgia doesn't play until 4, so there's no excuses. I believe we call it kegs and eggs in my time at Ohio State. So we will have Blackfield ready to roll for tailgating, but I encourage as many folks as we can get out, students, faculty, staff, and more importantly, the community, to get out and support this team, because we're a lot of fun to watch, and this is going to be a big-time college football game. So with that, I'll open it up for any questions from anybody.
South Dakota State, like you already mentioned.
South Dakota.
Yeah, sorry, you're right.
South Dakota, huge. Coyotes, not jackrabbits, man. Coyotes.
What a great way to start the press conference. They actually, I guess why I made that mistake is, you already mentioned they play in a tough conference. They beat South Dakota State earlier this year. They had a crazy 5 overtime game. Is there one specific thing you want to hone in on? It's not often you see a team that balanced. Like, they pass the ball really well and they have a really good guy in the backfield running it.
Yeah, again, they're a tremendous football team, and they like a lot of us. There's a little bit of a lull at a point in their season, but they've been really hot here. They got good the month of November, and that's what you need to do. They beat 3 ranked teams to close out the season. They beat a strong Drake team who was a conference champion in the first round of the playoffs, and they're back to playing football, and we're all one of 16 teams left, and so there's nothing specific. We need to play really good, solid football, the best we've played all year in all 3 phases to be competitive against a really good team.
Like I'm sure in your downtime here and there in the last couple of weeks, looking back at the season, where maybe not just one, but 1 or 2 turning points where you say we took a step up here, then we took another step up here. What were those points?
Sure, I think the players would hopefully tell you that the bye week after Presbyterian. We challenged everybody in the building, coaches, players, staff, personnel. Like if you have a hand in what we do in our success, however it's, laid out, we all had to get better. And I wanted to know who was all in. And, certainly we decided to make a quarterback change that week. And that young man, Braden's play has been a big piece of our success this year. But I think that specific week and the mindset that it instilled in our players going full go, not caring, right? Not really caring. Like if you're going to be a physical team and you're going to play a certain way and you want to play in the playoffs, like you can't be scared of physical contact. And so I think that week in particular, I think as you went on, as the season went, certainly the Western win was massive for us. That's as talent of an offensive team as I think we'll face all year in terms of quarterback play, skill positions, offensive line, so we've won games different ways. We've shut people out. We've had to outscore folks. It's been whatever it takes mentality, and I think you've really seen all 3 phases having an effect on games. But if I had to pinpoint one thing, to me, it's specifically the bye week coming out of the loss at Presbyterian that catapulted us into 9 wins in a row and an undefeated SoCon slate.
Yeah, I think what's his name, Phillips, that wideout over there. I think he had like a $140 on Saturday. So and the quarterback only had 15 completions, so it's pretty crazy. Like, what's been the point of emphasis in practice with the bye week to get prepared for a high passing attack like that?
Sure. It's more about just a veteran quarterback, right? Like they're under center a little bit more than we've seen throughout the year. They do a great job running the football, but for us, it's defensively specifically, it's alignment, assignment, and 90% of great defensive play is being aligned correctly prior to the snap and having great leverage, and then playing with the passion to get 11 hats to the football. And so, anytime we have extra time, bye weeks, we've been blessed to have 3 this year. That's unique for me. But we kind of go back to the basics, running, blocking, and tackling, and trying to get better at those things in a safe manner to not injure anybody. But those are really the things we worked on last week.
Well, now it's 2 years now with the Thanksgiving bye week. You starting any traditions with the team?
Some time off. They all look forward to it. We do a little bit as well. Since I got to Cal PA in really 2008. We've been playing on Thanksgiving or had some sort of playoff practice prep on Thanksgiving, and the great thing is that when you're practicing that week, it means you're playing in important games at any level, and so it's a blessing to have that time. I like to cook, believe it or not, and I do most of the Thanksgiving meal. I do everything but the baking portion of things. So we had some fellowship with some of the other staff. Coach Chafee smoked the turkey. Coach Folkert smoked some brisket, and then. My kids and I went to the Christmas tree farm on Friday, so that's a bit of a tradition for us. And, true Clark Griswold style, we cut the thing down and, it's in the bed of the truck and a lot of sap and all that kind of stuff. So it's been fun, though. It's been fun to have a little bit of family time and downtime.
Let's talk about the growth of Braden throughout the season. Particularly from his first start at Wofford and how you've seen him progress week by week.
Sure. Listen, the kid came in and went 9 for 9 in his first 9 passes, and it's like, all right, maybe we made the right decision, or maybe we should have made it sooner. I don't know, but I think what you see is a young man who who studies, who prepares like a veteran, like a senior. He's highly intelligent. The ball comes out quick. And what you see each week is it's not just the confidence that he has in himself. I think it's what his teammates believe in, that whether it's 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 14, we believe we're going to get the 3rd down and keep this thing moving. And, his ability to make big plays and to not get rattled under pressure. And he's faced some really challenging defenses this season. And so, and really Wofford that very first week, I don't know that Wofford's gotten enough credit this year. They won, I think, 3 or 4 in a row to end the season, but they're one of the top defenses in the country. And, that game was a battle. That was a 22-21 game. And, I thought he played really good against a top defense. And I think just the week-to-week growth and the extended preparation and then how he plays on Saturday has been the best thing and the funnest thing to watch.
Talking about that progression, there's a lot of experience on this team playoff-wise, obviously, 2 years in a row, second five. But what are you telling Braden and some of the other guys who don't have the playoff game under their belt? What's the mindset on that front?
Sure, I think it's really important to keep the main thing, right? And to prepare. Don't do more than what you've done to already be successful, right? Every player's got a 1/11th. Your job is to execute your specific 1/11th better than you've ever done it. Don't force things. Be who you are. Don't be afraid to make plays. And I look at the playoffs as house money, right? Like you're here, so you got to do whatever it takes to make sure you move on to the next round. And we're one of 16 teams. Every team left in this thing's got a chance at it. Everybody's really good, but there's nothing special or specific. Like it's about having a great week of preparation and then just playing free on Saturday and not worrying about the outcome, worrying about how we function and how we perform our job.
Other than Braden, who kind of emerged after that back to basics week? Just kind of that's catapulted them into a bigger role.
Sure. I think, the 5 guys up front on our offensive line, they're a group I challenged. I didn't think we protected well enough or ran the ball well enough against Presbyterian. And so, again, coming into a good Wofford team, I felt it was imperative. But that starting 5 of Amari Atchison, Jamari Freeman, Gavin Marks, Tyler Murray, and Xavier Jennings, I think has been as solid, especially in pass protection, as anybody in the country. Specific people, Gavin Marks, that's a young kid, that's a freshman that's also playing good football. I think Julian Fox and Drew Clare have really come into their own in the defensive side of things. Again, the big questions in our linebacker room coming into this, and I think those guys answered everything, and they've played tremendous this season. There's really anybody. Anytime you go from having a bunch of question marks and a terrible loss to ripping 9 in a row, everybody's getting better, but I think those have really stood out for me.
I just have to have that big of a turnaround that early in the year for 1 week.
I don't know if it's a full-blown turnaround. I hate to use that term because we expect to win every game. We didn't play well one Saturday, and we got challenged, and they got challenged, and I think our response is what I'm most proud of. But I expect to be, in every daggone ball game we play. I expect to win every game we play, frankly. So I'm just the way I'm wired. I don't know.
Just give a nod to the program. What's it mean to have the national spotlight back here at 5 Star Stadium?
Sure. This is what we talked about, right? Like we came here and, our goal has been to create a national program, not with the portal, people can be flash in the pan, right? They can be one-hit wonders, but can you build consistency through how you're doing it? And, can you do it at a high academic institution with kids that care about getting a high-quality degree? And so I'm really proud. This team, since the day I got here, they've had over a 3.0 every semester we've been here. We've graduated a bunch of guys. We've been able to keep key figures in our program because I think they value what we got going on here as a program, and that's tougher every day. But I think we have built a brotherhood, and it's something that nationally now, 3 years in a row in the playoffs, 2 years in a row at the bye, back-to-back SoCon championships after having never done it. First time that somebody's won it outright in back-to-back years since App State was in the conference. There's a lot that this team's doing right and well, and it's because I think we've built it the right way, and we've built it with the right kids, the right players.
Coach, I know your philosophy awards come with the success of your program, but it's got to make you feel pretty proud as a coach to
Yeah, man, I'm just proud of our kids. We talk about it all the time, like in the preseason a little bit. Like you recognize that individual awards are really important, and preseason awards are just kind of a tip of the cap to maybe what somebody did the season before. But then to go lay it on the line, if you look at this, 99% of the time, the team that has the most wins has the most players on the all-conference team. And so as the team's success goes, our individual accolades will come. And, I couldn't be more proud. Frankly, I think there's some guys that got snubbed or should have been on it. Like, I'm a little bit greedy that way. And, it's just like anybody's kid. You want to brag on them. And I think, I'm convinced that we got the best in the country where we're at. And so, but, I'm proud of the recognition. I think it speaks volumes to, what we do at Mercer and how we do things and, how we sell our kids and our approach. And that's to your office of the SID, to Kayla Vick and what she does with some of our social media stuff day in and day out, to have somebody embedded daily to tell our story, I think really matters. And I think it helps frame the picture of who Mercer is football-wise.
Specifically, all 5 guys on your offensive line, and then 3 out of your 4 defensive line starters. I mean, all of them got all conference awards. I mean, you're a testament to it shows the type of
Build it inside out, right? Build it inside out, man. If the foundation's bad, the rest of it can't be good. And so, listen, we commit resources to those groups. We work really hard, and I think those 2 position coaches, Brian Fulkerts on our offensive line and certainly Jimmy Long, are 2 of the best, if not the best, at this level in the country. And, they get guys ready to play every week. And I can't say enough about the job that they've done developing the group and some young guys in a lot of cases.
Coach, you mentioned it earlier how important the bye week was for you guys to kind of refocus on Mercer, but you also mentioned how big it is for health-wise.
Yep.
What did that look like for you guys this week?
Yeah, so going into the bye, we watched the selection show on Sunday coming out of the Auburn game. Monday is our typical required day off for the NCAA anyway. So we went ahead and took that day off. The players, they just got some academic stuff. And then we went Tuesday and Wednesday that week, cut them out a little bit earlier on Wednesday. So they had about a half day there. And then everybody was off Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Had about a half day off on Sunday. And then we came back and went in shells yesterday and really started our kind of our mindset shift to fully being engaged with South Dakota and what they're trying to do.
Okay, anything else for Coach?
Thank you all. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you Saturday.
Well, Todd mentioned a moment ago the recognition offensive and defensive line is going to be a good football team. These guys have got to be step up, do the job. Let's go to the offense first. Jamari Freeman, number 63, redshirt junior offensive lineman for Fairburn. And just by the way, setting the stage, Mercer offense and defense, there's many national stats, top 5, top 10, et cetera. But the offense is the number 1 team in the nation at 504.1 yards a game.
How y'all doing?
Jamari transferred in here. What made Mercer stand out to you as a place you wanted to continue to?
Definitely coming from Tennessee State. Just the coaches, the love I got from here, and being from Atlanta is down the road. So not able to have all my people come to the game with no problem. So this is just a good spot. Love the training crew. That was my biggest thing. What I was looking for, trainers and everything. So Mr. Brad and all them, they've been doing a good job this year. So that was really it for coming here.
Talk about Coach Fulkerts and how he's helped you grow in your position.
He definitely has, from technique to just knowing the game itself. I know we've seen a lot of crazy things this year from defenses, and Coach Fulkerts just breaking everything down to us. It's helped us a lot. As you see, we had the fewest sacks in FCS, so that just shows a lot right there.
Coach, obviously was O-line, and you talk about the foundation, you talk about the program. What does it mean to be so important and be an important part of this team and winning?
Definitely good. Like you, Coach Jacobs say, you get guys transfers, you don't know how they're going to be. So me just coming in and doing my thing, which is physical up front, that's what they're looking for. So just continue to be dominant, be a leader on the line, and just go from there.
You seen anything from their front seven in the box Saturday on tape?
Yeah, I know they got number 10, he's pretty good. So he's probably the best D lineman. So just keeping him out the mix and being physical up front, that's the main thing. Be physical up front, get to the second level. Can't stop us.
Marty, you've got the experience of going against these guys in practice. I mean, what do you think opponents see when they look at our film and see guys like Kobe and Zoc on the defensive line? What do you think?
I don't even know what to say. I know for fall camp, I definitely seen these guys are really good, and it just shows from the stats itself. Zoc, great DN. So I don't know that. Just be ready. That's all I gotta say.
What kind of pride do you think do you yourself get, and do you and your offensive linemen get a second in the country in sacks allowed? That's pretty special.
Yeah, it's really big, and I know that's what I like to have. Like I don't want my quarterback touched a lot, so just keeping him safe, and you see what he's been doing this year. So we keep him safe and score touchdowns. That's all you're gonna see.
And a little bit makes you a little more happier you had a quick release quarterback, right?
Yeah. So we ain't protecting too long.
Yeah.
Coach already mentioned the week after that Presbyterian game. What was that like? What were you guys working at? And how much closer do you think the line is as a unit now compared to that one year?
We definitely got closer from that first week. Like he said, that the week after that, the bye week, it was crazy. So we all came together. Some had to happen from that first game because how we performed, it just that wasn't good enough. So just coming together, the practice, just focus on being physical because that's our identity up front. Just be physical. So everybody bought into that week, and it showed off from there 9 straight. So.
Obviously, you got a big playoff game coming here, and a lot of people have been talking about they're kind of getting into this routine where it comes every single year. But this is going to be your first time playing a playoff game here at 5 Star. What are you looking forward to, you think?
I'm excited, ready to see who all comes out. I know I'm going to have a lot of people from everywhere come, so it's good to have it here, and that way everybody can come see us and just hosting a playoff game home. Like, who doesn't want that? So ready for the crowd to come out, bring the energy, and we're ready to go.
How much does it mean to you the fact that your family can make the trip down here now? I know, like you said, at Tennessee Tech, it wasn't the easiest, but now obviously you guys are making all these accolades, and you look up and your family's there with you now.
Yeah, it feels good. I mean, they're here every game. I know my mom comes to every home in a way, so she's always been there. But just to have more people come and see you who's never been able to see you play, that just means a lot.
Okay, anything else for Jamari? All right, thank you, sir, appreciate it. All right, let's go to the defensive line for the Bears. Obviously, if you've seen this team play this year, you know if you go against this defense, you're going to get after you. You've been among the best, if not the best, in sacks, tackles for loss all year. Let's bring up Kobe McInnes, freshman defensive lineman from Marietta. Kobe?
How you guys doing? Hope you guys had a good break.
Kobe, talk about what it's meant to you to be a part of this team and to get the playing time that you've got as a freshman.
It's meant a lot. You know, we had a lot of moving parts at first, and a couple guys went down. So I'm blessed to have the opportunity to come up and step up and really make an impact. So that it really means a lot to me, and I appreciate Coach Jacobs and Coach Long for taking a chance on me and allowing me to do what I do best.
And you were one of those 17 guys that got all conference or some kind of all freshman recognition. What does an award mean like that to you, especially in your first year here?
It feels good, but you always stay hungry and want more. So not focusing too much on that. Coach Long talks about it a lot, staying selfless and focusing on doing your 111, not worrying about the stats or accolades or anything like that. So it feels good, but, you always want to stay focused and want more.
Coming from a great program up the road like Wheeler, you choose here. Has the year met the expectations? I mean, you're hosting a playoff game, right?
Yeah, we at Wheeler, I had a lot of coaches moving around from D-line, and coming here, it's a lot different. The pace of the game, and we played a lot of good competition there, and I think it helped me prepare for moments like that Eastern Tennessee game. I think they really ran a lot of tempo, and think helped me prepare for that. So.
What does it mean to you to be here as a freshman hosting a playoff game, national spotlight, against a program like South Dakota?
I mean, it means a lot. We never hosted a playoff game at Wheeler, so being able to experience that is really important to me, and being a part of something like this is very special.
Kobe, what's been your favorite moment this year with this program, either on or off the field, but what's been your favorite moment that sticks out the most to you?
I don't know if I could pick one. These guys, just the players, and getting to know everybody, building that bond with everybody in the D-line room and all around the team. Just everybody here is really good people, so that's probably been my favorite part of this.
Who's the guy on defense that you, I mean, maybe not just you, maybe other guys on the squad, who are you looking to ahead of a big game, hyping you up, getting everybody in the zone?
I would say Tommy. Tommy's a big leader on our defense. He's the voice of our defense. Tommy, Fox, and Zoc, he's an inspiration to me. So looking at those guys, seeing their energy and how they play, it really inspires me and gets me hyped up for the games.
You guys have already accomplished so many things, but for you as a freshman, how do you think you developed as a player throughout this season so far?
I came in the summer and going through what Coach Barr takes us through and the workouts and then fall camp, it came really fast, faster than I expected. But just taking in everything I can learn from Coach Long and all the guys that have been here already, like Swain and some other guys that have already been here, just learning from them, it's been a lot of fun, and they make it very easy. So.
What are you seeing from their offense when you're looking at film, and what's your scouting report on their offense?
They do some good things up front. They like to run the ball. They run the ball pretty well, and looking for those cutback lanes. They have some pretty good backs, and their tight ends are very physical, so it's going to be a very physical game, and that's how we like to play, so we're ready for it.
Okay, anything else for Kobe? All right, thank you. Okay, remember men's basketball in action tomorrow night here at Hawkins Arena, 7 p.m. against Georgia State. Football, 12 noon. Everybody be here. Thanks for coming.